This is the freestyle.
Oh my goodness. Good afternoon, beautiful souls. We are here in Mecklenburg County enjoying the sunshine and the backdrop that we have. We're here in what part?
Hornets Nest Park.
Hornets Nest Park here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm here with my girlfriend Aretha, and we're going to talk about caregiving. Caregiving. Aretha is taking care of her mom. She's helping her daughter, and at the same time, she's also taking care of herself. But that can come at a later interview. So right now, let us open and say we're gonna have an honest conversation about caregiving, about faith in God, grace in the middle of life's hardest times.
That's right.
Right. So, Aretha, brief synopsis. Aretha is a caregiver who's taking care of a mother with dementia, like I just said. A mother walking alongside her daughter through lung cancer, and a woman working on her own health and weight.
Yep.
Right?
It's
so
true.
grace through it all, and the way and caregiving, the emotional, the physical, and spiritual toll of caring for loved ones. So first thing we can talk about is the daily caregiving role with your mom, what it looks like and what it feels like.
Daily caregiving. I wake up and I get myself centered first with a little meditation and stretching, and then sometimes I can squeeze in a walk, sometimes I can't. But days like today, when she woke up early, I go ahead and make sure she gets her breakfast, and I clean the room, and clean the bed and everything. And I'll run various errands throughout the day, but typically every 4 hours or so, I make sure I come home and check on her to make sure things are okay.
So everything going on in your life, and taking care of your mom with dementia, because dementia is a disease that affecting a lot of Americans, and it's such a vast surface to cover because everybody is completely different. There are no two people that are alike, and that is a lot on caregivers because that's where burnout is happening right now here in America. But at the same time, how long have you been taking care of your mama with dementia?
Her initial stroke was in 2008. So, and she was diagnosed with early onset dementia. It's I want to say vascular. I can't remember the whole amygdala. I can't remember the whole pronunciation of it, but she's had multiple strokes since the initial stroke in 2008. So somewhere around maybe less than a dozen, but maybe around 10 is what the last um, doctor's report told us. And they call those like not sleeping, but like walking strokes. They're really mild, and you really don't
notice it
have
unless you do like that CAT scan or
Right.
So right now, where's mom at as far as with her dementia? Where she's at?
Well, I've worked with her just from learning as an activities director, working in assisted living for the last 9 years. I've come up with a structure that really works around what her personality was like when she was younger, and when she was actively working, and some of the things that interest her. So I have it set up where I can have at least a 4 hour block where I know she'll be okay before the next person can come in and watch her and make sure she's okay. So whenever I'm not available to drop in, one of my brothers will, and then sometimes we'll have a part-time nurse that can come in.
So in other words, you have a good support system.
Yes.
Through our brothers and everything. But at the same time, we're going through a mom dementia and taking care of her and getting her routine and getting her ups and downs, because it's like a roller coaster. You can get a good spell for a couple weeks, couple months, and then falls also come into play when it comes to dementia. So I mean, it's a lot to expect. Along with that, you also have a daughter who also. Can you tell us a little bit what happened to your daughter?
Well, she's a recent graduate from Winston-Salem State University, and she was working her first job after she graduated, and was realizing that her chest was burning, and it was hard for her to complete just to function on her job. She was actually on a working on a farm with one of her clients, and there was some physical aspects of the job because sometimes I think her client would go horseback riding or do some
Mhm.
different activities and things. So, but yeah, one day she could not finish the job, and we went to the emergency room because her chest was burning, and they discovered a tumor that was in her left lung, and it was the size of a lime, and so we had to go through the process of having that surgery done and everything. So over the last 9 months to the year, it's been just an uphill battle trying to take care of her and deal with some of the
Okay.
emotional um, support that's come out of that, a lot of the anxiety and everything like that.
And today, what is she doing today?
So today she's decided to maintain her studies, and she's still studying for her master's degree in HR, and she's working full time from home. So working in the industry of supply chain management. So she's pushing through, and I'm proud of her. I'm really proud of what she's been able to accomplish despite all the obstacles that she's had to go through.
And that's where resilience come in, because although she had a hard last 9 months and it was coming uphill, at least she's still standing and supporting herself and still trying to go back to school,
Mm-hmm.
and still putting herself out there to be the best version of herself. Now with that, although Miss Aretha was taking care of her mom, remember her daughter 9 months ago was going through that episode with the lung cancer. So that is whereas now she had two people that she had to take care of with caregiving. And I know that is a lot
Yeah.
for anybody to manage. And then I know the routine that you just spoke about that with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
that routine
It's
had to
intense.
change completely to accommodate now. Here you got your daughter, taking
Yeah.
care of your daughter. So it is a lot. It's a
It
lot.
is. It is.
So to see that you're still standing,
Yes, we're on the
and
upswing.
and what with your faith,
Oh
where do you
yeah.
stand with your faith in all this here?
Oh man, I would not been able to able to get through it without my faith. So, church families really close, and they're really were really supportive and just praying through the entire process. They would ask what specifically the doctor says, and I would say, okay, well, they say that the lung is collapsed, and there's new spots, and so they were praying very specific along the entire process. So they've been invaluable. Yeah, major support. And I study on my own a lot more now. My faith is deeper. Um, it's caused me to want to go deeper into the things of God and to learn more about ministry. So I'm currently looking into getting some type of a ministry certificate just so I can have a better foundation so I could support other people
Other
in
people
their
that are going
faith
through the
journey.
same crisis,
Yeah.
that going through the same crisis.
Hmm.
Now, how taking care of your daughter, taking care of your mom. What about yourself? How you play a part? Because bear in mind that we can't point to people unless our cup
Right.
is full. So
Right.
then I know you had to take a back step for even for yourself.
Oh
So
yeah.
where are you at right now?
So I mean, there were a few times throughout the journey where I kind of felt like I lost myself, and I was like, I can't compare it to the Twilight Zone, but but yeah, I had to really just stop and reevaluate what's really important in my life. How can I just get through this day? So I'll be honest with you, I do keep
Journal.
yes, a gratitude journal, and that really helps me a lot to just, even if I'm only thankful for, wow, okay, gas is in the car, um, I'm breathing, I'm walking, I took a bath today. Some day, on the really bad days, that's what it looks like. But it really helps me to journal my thoughts and think about what I'm grateful for. And honestly, going to church, never forsake the assembly of going to church. I needed it, and I didn't realize how much I needed it until going through
So
something like
basically,
this.
it's having a foundation
Yeah.
and routine.
Hmm.
Because with that routine, then you get to do everything that you need to do. So, what is one of the hardest moments of caregiving that you had experienced with everything going on with your mom and your
Oh
daughter
man.
and you?
Um, I don't even want to use because the word burnout is so overused, but there has been times when I say one of the worst nights because sometimes she'll be up on what I call third shift when and it really doesn't matter. You can give her melatonin, you can give her whatever, she'll shake it off like a wild bull because she's so she's so tough and she's so used to just pressing through things. So even with medication in her system, she'll be up all night and she'll do everything from take down the curtains to pack up. She might cook a full meal, even though most of the time she says she forgot how to cook.
Yeah.
Some mornings the energy is so
Hi.
uh yeah it's
It's just
so
like dementia
elevated
is not there.
that
Like just like
yeah,
normal.
and she'll remember and cook
Hmm.
$200 worth of groceries and have a full spread like she's still supporting a family
Big
of six.
family.
Yeah, yeah, so it's crazy, but yeah, that's the worst is when she was doing one of those packing up stages around 2 o'clock in the morning, and she decided to take all the pictures off the wall, and I tried to redirect her to do something else, and she just was not cooperation. So she took the picture and just crashed it over my head,
Oh
and
wow.
and then she realized what she did. Like once she saw all the glass sticking out of my skin and on my face, and she realized what she did, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And so
That moment, that glimpse,
yeah,
the
and
reality.
it just
Because
she
mama is
stopped.
mama. Is mama is
Yeah,
quite intuition
yeah, and then I
that just
spent the
pop up.
next 2 hours trying to tell her it's okay, as I'm bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, but it snapped her out of the it kept her from progressing even further, but it was painful. But yeah, that was a rough night.
And then when you say with the packing up, because we both worked in assisted living,
And
and
they
we
say I'm going
know for
home.
firsthand how it is when you got a patient family who got the whole room fixed up, really nice and pretty
Mm-hmm.
for them. Next day you come back, everything in boxes, everything in, I mean, in a
Uh-huh.
corner.
Going home.
Yeah,
I'm going
they
to see
always
my
going
family.
home. Yeah, and that's the thing with dementia.
Hmm.
So when we cannot generalize this disease, because this disease we gotta take it as it comes. It's very
Yeah.
taxing on them. It's very taxing on us. And when we talk about dementia, I remember there's this movie that I like, The Notebook.
Hmm.
And how he
Yeah.
was just reading that book over and
Yeah.
over to his wife
Yeah,
to
that
see
was
if he can
crazy.
just get that memory to pop
Spark.
back. Yeah,
Hmm.
so he can actually um, get back the lady that he loved.
Yeah.
But that was a really good book to read. But at the
Hmm.
same time, it also show you the love for family. And although that might have the mind is not there, it's still ways
Right.
that we can still try and reach them,
Hmm.
and there's still ways that we can try to grab them and let them know that we still love them.
Yeah.
Although sometimes they don't recognize this half the times, and they
Sometimes.
know that that's really hard. But so your
Yeah.
mom still know
She
that you're
she
her
still
daughter.
recognizes. Oh yeah, yeah. She still recognizes who we are. But it's like I said, it's different with everybody.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I used to describe the process of dementia with other families in the assisted living field, I would say dementia is like um, every day that person wakes up, there's a different piece of the puzzle missing,
Hmm.
and you got to figure out what piece it is. Some days you can figure it out, some days you can't. So you just really have to go with the flow.
Yeah. And
It's really that random.
also working as an activities director, and then you see families coming in, and you gotta try to explain to them, and this is your mom, but at
Hmm.
the same time, they get really upset when mom asking certain questions or dad asking certain questions, and they don't realize the disease.
Right.
But I mean, we have so many. The Alzheimer's Association is doing a great job out there with the resources that we need for folks with dementia. And then it is Lisa Gibson. She
Oh
has
yeah.
some centers throughout the country too that families can reach out to if they need any information on dementia or Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
So that's a great resource for everybody. Do you have anything to tell the audience about your take on dementia,
Um,
your work
I am
experience, and then taking care of your mom?
well through my work experience and um, my personal experience with taking care of my mom. I have decided to put together a workbook for people who are in a position where either you make too much to qualify for Medicaid, and you don't necessarily want to put your loved one in a nursing home yet. There's people like me who probably fit in that in between stage where if you did put them in a nursing home or assisted living, it may absorb all of your funds really, really quickly. But I know there's people who are taking care of their loved ones at home through this process called aging in place, and there's structure that you can create where you can have a life. And so I am working on a course that will be coming soon. Um, just so you can have a workbook and you have some tools, and I can help you understand, like, through whatever that person's life is, just try to create activities and different things that they can do on their own eventually, even when you're not there, that'll cause them to self-correct in a way. So there are ways that you can manage it um, with an understanding of where they are, but you got to understand where they are and ways that you can reach them.
So, do you want to leave your information out there for anybody that want to reach out to you that
Sure.
that need help or any advice or that you can help them with?
I will start with email first. Just email me at irethak@gmail.com any questions that you would have, and I will be more than glad to answer them. And and that way I can let you know when the workbook will be finished and you can access it.
And you might need to spell that out for some folks that don't know, because that is a
It
very
is a
a
unique
name with
name.
a flair. You know what I mean? So we gotta make sure
All
that
right.
they can actually. So you can spell the name out for
Okay.
them.
It is spelled IRET as in Tom HAK. That's Aretha K, my last initial, at gmail.com.
And another thing too, caregiving, when it
Mm-hmm.
came to love, patience, and perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
those qualities.
Love, patience, and perseverance.
Yeah.
Man, it just kind of builds automatically. It's almost like you kind of have to think of it as a test, and as God tests you, and as you're going through the process, because you got to go through the process, and then by the time you get to the end of it, you realize that the Holy Spirit can expand the capacity of what you can really deal with. You know, you are more patient than you think you are. You you do end up developing that automatically to the point where you can handle things that other people just can't handle, and it's just that it's the resilience of having gotten through so many obstacles with caregiving that you end up just walking just walking
Yeah.
in it.
And regards to training, as you can be a CNA, you could be a nurse. As much training as you have, it doesn't prepare
Nothing
you
prepares you for it.
for dementia and caregiving with a family member. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
And like you say, God, a lot of prayers, a lot of patience is what is going to help you, make it easier.
Yeah,
Because as that person also decline, then we also
it's
got
another stage.
another stage, and you
Mm-hmm.
got to get more resources,
Yeah.
because then that comes a point that where you can't take care of families at home, and then you need to get those resources so that you know exactly what to do and where to go. So like, even if you got family, you got your loved ones at home, I would advise anybody, don't wait till that stage happen.
Mm-hmm.
Start getting into the community and
Mm-hmm.
start finding out the resources you need, because everything that marked dementia, everything that marked memory care, I'm telling you, we worked it
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
facilities, and a lot of parents, a lot of families was like, okay, we've got a families there. This is a safe place, you know. So I'm telling you,
It's full of new
do your
surprises.
homework, do your
Yeah.
research.
I will say, check into the insurance too, because there's extra obstacles when you're not power of attorney. So, which is my case. But I did find out through her insurance, and I now have a nurse that comes by. It's not all the time, but it's enough to where they can get her a primary care practitioner has the extra information of what I see from the caregiving standpoint through that nurse, and the information that she records goes straight into her PCP. So that's made a difference too, just having that extra pair of professional eyes.
Yeah, and also to Alzheimer's Association, if you're taking care of a loved one in your home, they also have a grant that they would give you. I think it was like $500 or $600,
Mm.
just for you also too. To have a chance to get a break, so that someone can come in, and you
Respite.
can use that however you want. But at the same time, officer agent in the areas that you're in, you can also check those out, because at the same time they may give you an opportunity where your loved one can go for maybe a week or two, so you can take a vacation. So there are resources out there that you can use. But right now, Alzheimer's Association is the number one place to get the resources you need and to make sure that we are taking care of our loved ones. Is there anything else that we gotta talk about?
Just one other thing that I looked into is called a senior TLC, and it's a lady I have an appointment with coming up. So that'll be another resource that you can possibly reach out to. But they have like a adult daycare,
Okay.
and that's a form of respite for me. So
Yeah.
that's the latest thing that I've been looking
And I,
into.
I did adult daycare too, through a church somewhere here in Charlotte also,
Mm-hmm.
but the transport system would come and drop off everybody, and they stayed there for the day with activities and everything. I was one of the nurses that was on the premises, because there is
Oh,
a nurse there during those hours, so that in case if there's a problem with medication, if the person have to get the injection for insulin, anything like that, there is a nurse on the premises. So
that's
adult
good.
daycare is also a program that you can look into, whereas just like child care, you drop them off in the morning and then you pick them up when you finish work. And because when you come home, that's when you got to put on that hat to say, okay, I'm a caregiver now. But mom is getting the care, and mom is also getting the activities that can help
Okay.
her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Stay as close to her baseline as she can. So I just want to say thank you, Miss Aretha,
Thank
for
you.
having a casual conversation with me here in this beautiful part here in Charlotte.
Mhm.
And at the same time, to tell all my beautiful souls out there to thank you to following Healing Health and Holy Habits. And remember, I always say, stay rooted, stay blessed, and thank you. Bye.